All right, brake pads on a 2010 Subaru. This is an Outback. A majority of the Subarus are the same thing. A majority of brake pads are the same thing. Sometimes they have different bolts, but this one is two 14mm bolts that you take off the back of the caliper. There's one right there and one right here. You can tell because they're on the other side of these. And if these start spinning, you can put a wrench in there. And the wrench will hold on to that while you take the bolts out. When you take the bolts out, pull the caliper up, hang it with a piece of bungee cord like this. And the bungee cord hooks go right in through here and just wrap it around here. And then you just pop these out. I just finished with this, but figured I'd make a quick video. They come right out, real easy. And them going back in, they can be a little bit tougher. So sometimes you have to, if you don't have new metal clips, you're just using the old ones. I mean, even if you have new ones, sometimes you have to put a screwdriver in there. Do the bottom, put the bottom in first. Those are the squealers right there to let you know when your brakes are low. But when you're pushing the top in, this was catching behind, so I had to pry this up. Pretty easy. Can be kind of a pain, especially on the backside, but it's easy. I mean, it's easy and it's cheap. You can do it yourself, and I think that's about it. When you get back in the car, when you're done with brakes, press the brake pedal a bunch of times until it firms up, just so the brake fluid can get through. Check on your brake fluid to make sure that you don't lose any. Chances are good you're not gonna, because you didn't open the system. But maybe you'll lose a little from compressing the pistons. So when you pull this off, the pistons that are in there that squeeze the brakes are going to be pushed out. You're gonna want a tool. I know I've heard people just using all sorts of ridiculous things, pieces of wood and pliers and all that stuff, which you can use, but this is a good one. You just use an old brake pad, put it up against the pistons, press this up against it, and then this thing holds inside of here, where this brake pad is. And then you just push to tighten it, twist to tighten it rather, and it compresses the pistons back in. That's a good time to check your pistons, see if there's any leaks in the boots or how the calipers look. Then once you press them back in, slide it back on. That's why you're pressing the brake pedal a couple of times. It is also helpful in the beginning, in order to get this thing off, to put a screwdriver in here and pry, so it pushes the pistons in a tiny bit, so it just slides right out. I think that's it. You can do it. Have a good one.